just DAO it. Uh, these days, if you have heard the term DAO, it's been overly used, and almost every group of people who want to work together, a question comes to their mind: should we just DAO it? So, what is it about? Before we begin, I would like to tell you what a DAO is about. A DAO can be any collaboration of multiple people coming together with a common goal, and they disperse money through a common wallet to get things done. If we have a common goal, we pool together the money or we raise money together, and we have a wallet where we disperse the money to other people for getting work done. And this way, our organization, our collaboration succeeds, and then we go to the next level. So, step by step, we keep tackling our goals together as a group. So, even a group of friends working on WhatsApp or Telegram and having a shared wallet and taking decisions together through mutual consent can also be called as a DAO. But if we talk about the most advanced level of DAOs, most advanced DAOs today, they have a proper team consisting of lawyers, consisting of almost every kind of role that they may need to get the goal accomplished. So, as we will see in the next few slides, different DAOs were formed for doing different things, and in order to get those things done, they have either raised funds or they have pooled the funds together within themselves, and one, two, three, or more people might be taking care of those funds through a common wallet where the signature of a certain number of admins are needed before the money can be transferred from one account to the other account. So,
Kriti, sorry to interrupt you. Are we recording this session, and like how we would like to take questions in between, or questions will be at the last? Sorry
I would
about
love
that.
to take questions in between. Thanks, Almas, for reminding that. I am recording the session. I thought you were also recording, but no worries, I'm already recording the session. So, should be
Okay.
good. We are covered.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
So,
Recording in progress.
okay, yeah. I was recording through QuickTime video. So, this is the Zoom recording which started. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have the Lord of the Rings, everyone has seen, everyone comes together, the humans, the elves, then all the different, basically the different kinds of uh, living beings come together for a shared purpose, and then they get the thing done, which is to remove darkness forever. And that was a DAO, I must say. Moving on, why DAO? Why is it that we should form DAOs, which is decentralized autonomous organizations? Why? Or in which cases we shouldn't? So these are the common characteristics or principles along which you should ask yourself, should I be forming a DAO? And if I form a DAO, what all am I going to get? So number one, you should have shared goals and shared funds so that you can get the either you're building the product, or you're doing the social work, or you're sponsoring scholarships, or you're raising money for a non-profit organization. Mm, these are valid purposes for forming a DAO. Second thing a DAO does is democratizes access, which means no information is withheld. Every information is equally shared between all the people, irrespective of their designation, irrespective of their experience, irrespective of their uh, region, gender, and other kind of biases. Basically, a DAO is supposed to be a completely decentralized, autonomous organization without any biases. Transparency is something without which a DAO cannot survive. Whenever decisions are being taken, decisions are first proposed. Uh, Different proposals for the same question, for the same problem, are being proposed and discussed in the form of town halls, in the form of community calls, and then using that transparent discussion that goes on, all views are considered, and this organization uh, this organization together decides what needs to happen as a next step to get to get closer to our goal. Autonomy, basically every individual in the DAO is empowered enough. Every individual knows what the role the person is playing, and the role is basically assigned the time a person joins the DAO, and the role has to be meaningful enough for the person to continue with the DAO. And then for some reason, if the person doesn't feel engaged enough with the DAO, or let's say the goals of the organization changes and the values or the culture does not match with the person's values and culture, the person can choose to gracefully exit the DAO, and whatever amount, whatever work the person has done, and whatever resources the person has earned as part of the work that the person did, those will not be taken away, they will be with the person only. So there is a very graceful journey of a DAO member that happens. Next thing is consent or propose based decision making. There are tools, there are websites using which very beautifully crafted proposals are shared amongst the team members. Those proposals clearly indicate what are the assumptions, what are the risks involved with the things that we are trying to do, what are the known issues, what are the alternatives that were considered before doing something like this, and what are the resources that we will need. The proposal talks about everything in detail, and the proposal also talks about what is the amount of money that we are going to use for doing this particular task, and what are the kinds of responsibilities and how they will be shared amongst multiple people. Usually this is what a proposal might look like, based on different decisions that a DAO has to take for executing the different life cycles of the projects that the DAO is working on. There will be different kind of proposals. I'm going to show you a couple of proposals in the coming few slides, so hold on. Last step is agreement and voting. So let's say there are 5 people in a DAO, or let's say there are 10 people in a DAO, and a decision was taken that we are going to spend 50% of our funds to provide scholarship to students from marginalized communities. And when this proposal is floated, let's say out of 10 people, 8 people agree to the proposal, and they say we are in for it. And then there is a voting which happens on the chain. Basically on the blockchain, every vote gets recorded. Out of those 10 people, 8 people agreed for the proposal to go through. A lot of times proposals are majority based, which means that whatever the majority number of votes are saying, that is going to happen. Second kind of proposals are they just need a minimum number of votes to go through. So for example, for this, out of 10 people, the admins decide that only 3 votes are needed minimum, and maximum any number of votes can be there. So just that minimum number of votes are enough for the proposal to go through, and then it gets executed. So agreement gets shared, people get enough time to read it, to discuss it, there are forums to discuss it, and then there is a voting which happens. The popular tool for voting that I have seen is Snapshot, which captures what vote I am casting on the blockchain, and it uses a particular wallet to sign the transaction for my voting. I'm going to show you a quick demo of the tool as well. So based on this, DAOs execute the different decisions, and then different roles are divided, how the money gets disbursed, everything gets decided through agreement, voting, consent. And if every individual finds meaningful work, that person stays. Doesn't find meaningful work or goal or community feeling or feeling of belongingness, the person leaves. So yeah, there are challenges around DAOs as well. For example, if someone is not feeling engaged enough, or a lot of people are not finding shared goals, they might even leave the DAO. So a lot of powerful missions are being empowered by DAO. I know a lot of DAOs which are into women empowerment, and they have been giving scholarships to women. One of them is Her DAO, the other one is Blue DAO, and there are so many other women empowering DAOs. Then there are some DAOs which are focused on investment, wherein all the members of the DAO, they pool the funds together, and then they put the money into different investment tools, and whatever is the profit that gets generated, they share the profit amongst the members. So different kinds of DAO exists, and I'm going to go through the case studies of all those DAOs. So let's continue. The first DAO that I'm going to talk about is Ocean DAO.
Oh my god.
Is there a question? All right, I'll continue. So Ocean DAO is a DAO which monetizes.
Iman, just butting in here real quick. So with the theoretical heredity situation, would that be particular?
Hey Iman, can you please repeat your question?
If that was like, so wait, can you just explain that real quick again? Sorry, I missed that.
Which part do you want me to explain again?
The part that you just said.
Ocean DAO?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ocean DAO is a DAO which converts data and privacy into data tokens, which can then be staked using different strategies in the Ocean DAO. So far, privacy has been something that we were never asked for. Like, our privacy has been compromised. Different web browsers which are centralized, they know what URLs we are visiting, they know what kind of shopping we are doing, and based on that, they are able to come up with ads, etc. So we know that there are centralized tools that we are using which know what we are browsing, which know what preferences we have, and based on that, they are using the data, our private data, to recommend future products or to recommend patterns of.
right now.
You can unmute her. You can mute everyone
Okay,
and then unmute Crossy.
fine. Just mute all.
All right, can everyone see my screen now? Can everyone see my screen? Okay, awesome. So what Ocean DAO has done is, all the different private data that we have when we use different apps, using Ocean Market app, we are in a way able to choose what data gets shared with the other softwares, and based on that, there is a value that gets accrued to the token that we are holding. And there's the Ocean DAO, the governance token is called Ocean. Using that Ocean token, we are able to stake in different schemes, in different market apps, and we are able to gain more tokens on top of it. Basically, there are research industries which need a lot of user data with the consent of the user. That is where the Ocean DAO comes and says, we are going to take permissions from the users and give their data to the people who need it for research, and in return we are going to accrue value to the data in terms of tokens, and the name of the token is Ocean token. So Ocean DAO is doing amazing work here. It has developed its own dApps, but still there are a lot of dApps that needs to be developed, and hence Ocean DAO is the first case study that I took. Even we, the Phoenix Guild, we got funded by the Ocean DAO. We went to Ocean DAO, we made a proposal that we need $3,000 in order to conduct sessions for different women to onboard to Web3. And Ocean DAO accepted our proposal. They gave us $3,000. We conducted some sessions, and there are more proposals that are going to be that are going to happen in the coming few months. So yeah, this is the first case study. I would like to move on to the next one. It's a very interesting one. Git Coin. I am not sure how many of you have already heard about Git Coin, but it's an independent platform whose goal is to fund developers and builders by letting them nominate what kind of applications they want to build, and then making it open for investors and the DAO itself to choose which of these projects should be given funds. And the funds, before the project gets started, these funds are only called grants. So Gitcoin DAO has empowered builders and developers by funding their projects, pretty much like how Kickstarter was doing in the Web 2 world. Gitcoin DAO is doing in the Web 3 world. Gitcoin has a token called GTC, using which the DAO is governed. What do I mean by the governance? In a DAO, the number of tokens that a person holds, that is the voting power of that particular member in the DAO. So if I hold 1,000 Gitcoin tokens and you hold 10 Gitcoin tokens, my voting power is more than yours. It is 100 times more than yours, and I'll be able to influence a lot more decision making in the DAO as compared to someone who holds less token than me. And this is true for any DAO. But the token of the DAO can vary. Some DAOs may not even have a token, because initially only I told you that even a couple of friends who are working towards a common goal and they share a wallet and they get things done, that could also be a DAO. So the definition of DAO is not very strict. The only couple of things that couple of principles that a DAO follows are autonomy, transparency, consent driven decision making, etc., which I covered already. So yeah, Gitcoin DAO, please do check it out. If you are a builder, if you are a developer, if you are looking to build a project and you need funds, go to Gitcoin DAO, post your project there, or get in touch with someone from Discord, and your project might be funded. How can you ask for grants? How can you ask to get funded? That I'm going to cover in the next few slides. So let's go to the next one. Olympus DAO. It's a very interesting DAO, and I think it's a DAO that everyone is looking forward to. A lot of people are excited about it. Basically, the value of dollars, when it depreciates, the value of stable coins also depreciates, because stable coins are pegged to dollar. Olympus DAO replaces the concept of dollar depreciation by introducing a token called OHM token, OHM, and it's a free floating reserve currency introduced by Olympus DAO. And the way it is controlling the token is, whenever the supply of OHM token reduces in the market, Olympus DAO pushes in some more supply of the token in the market, so the value of the token does not depreciate or does not increase beyond a point. It is very stable. So it actually behaves like a stable currency. It does not go up and down. And this is exactly what the goal of Olympus DAO is, which is to control the depreciation of stable coins. And using the OHM token, again, there are a bunch of ways you can make money. You can stake the OHM token, and you can try it, swap it. There are different ways you can use the OHM token. But Olympus DAO is actually one of the promising DAOs. So one question that often comes to mind is, how much can they keep supplying the token every time the availability of token goes down? This is a question that no one knows the answer to, and that's the reason this DAO is very exciting, and people are very curious how they are going to keep controlling the market volatility. Next is FWB, which is Friends with Benefits. It's a social DAO, which is purely for the purpose of bringing like-minded people in a particular exclusive social club. You have to purchase the FWB token, which is the governance token of the FWB DAO, and the higher the number of tokens you possess, the higher the number of things that you can do in the DAO. So for example, if you have just few tokens, you can only probably read the introductory preamble of the DAO. But if you have more tokens, you might even be able to interact with some members and contribute to decision making. So there is a limited number of services available to you if you have limited number of FWB tokens purchased. But having said that, it's a purely social DAO for people who have the relevant amount to dispense. So yeah, this was one kind of DAO. Next is Meta Cartel Ventures. Uh, it's not a full DAO, but it is part of a DAO. Meta Cartel DAO is the bigger DAO, and Meta Cartel Ventures is a smaller group within the Meta Cartel DAO, and this group is a investment DAO. It's an investment sub DAO. So basically, the members of Meta Cartel Ventures, they pool the money together and then they invest it in different kinds of decentralized applications, and they share the profits together. So earlier it was restricted to different investors and venture capitalists, but now in a different experiment they have given access to non-investors as well. So this is also one of the interesting DAOs. It's an investment DAO. The previous one, FWB, it was a social DAO. It was more like a social club. Moving on, MakerDAO. This is one of the top 10 DAOs that has the largest amount in its treasury, and MakerDAO is the creator of the most famous stablecoin called DAI, and it utilizes this DAO and to make the decisions around how DAI should continue being staked, etc., and other things based upon the stability of the DAI coin. So if you are part of the MakerDAO from the start, you must have been super rich. So that's what the MakerDAO is about. It makes decisions around the DAI stablecoin which it has launched, which is one of the most popular stablecoins. Do check it out. The link is here. Next is Dow Governance. But before going here, are there any questions? I would like to open it up.
Yeah, folks, feel free to ask your questions, concerns, or if you want to share your experience. I wish like I would have known about DAI earlier. I would have got at least some of the other thing.
Yeah. If there are no questions, or if there are questions, please keep writing them in the chat. And Almas, whenever there is a...
So Divya has it. Let me...
Hey Almas, can you hear me?
Hey, hi, I have a doubt. Can I go?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Divya.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that the traditional the search engines they are centralized and they'll be monitoring like our data, our history, and whatever they'll be building patterns based on online profiles for us. How will this Web3 thing probably like after joining this space, I started using this Brave browser. Like I'm not much aware of the behind the scene thing. It also records the history, right? We can see our browsing history there. So how is it different from that thing? Like what happens? There are some privacy preserving browsers like Brave, then DuckDuckGo something. Yeah. So can you say that actually the technical thing like behind the how it differs from the Google thing?
Basically, what happens is the number of the APIs, right? The application programming interfaces for every browser, they expose some endpoints using which users' data is shared with a third party plugin or a app, and they can see what you were browsing on a particular website like Amazon or something. And based on that, their plugin proposes some ads to you or some other products, right? So, what the Web3, the decentralized privacy preserving browsers are doing is their APIs are not sharing these information to different plugins. They are blocking those plugins even, and they are detecting, and they are highlighting it to the user that this plugin is requesting this particular data. Would you be interested in sharing it? And one of the DAOs that I was talking about, which is the Ocean DAO, it has gone one step ahead, and it has given you the choice to selectively share your data and even get paid for it in terms of token. So I can choose to say I'm going to visit Amazon, and I'm going to do some shopping, and meanwhile whatever data is there, it's okay to be shared, and then I can get tokens for it. There can be some logic around it. So that's how it happens. So the browser itself is powerful enough to block these plugins, and Ocean DAO is a completely different DAO. It's not a browser. It's a DAO which actually partners with different consumers and the researchers and brings them together, and then makes data powerful enough by making data as an asset in the form of a token. So then the kind of data that you share, uh, that gets tokenized and comes back to you. So that's how the privacy gets preserved, and then based on that you can also get tokens.
Kriti,
Okay.
Divya,
Yeah, I understand that. Thank you for the explanation. Yeah, I'll be just from Jan onwards, like I'll be getting some reward, like in the Brave, like bad tokens. I have no idea, like as far as my observation, if I'm online for a longer time, for in that particular month, the reward will be higher, and I don't know on what basis are they rewarding. So now I get it. It's better. Yeah, I have also onboarded in this Ocean protocol after Gyan's orientation session. So, but I thought about Ocean, maybe I don't have much of the technical stuff. I thought if I have a data like with my only data, how can it be how will it generate revenue? Like data has to be in large amount. When I spoke to some data guys, they said a minimum of these much thousand data should be there in order to do analysis or something like that. So if with my browsing history or with my only photo something, that is of no use. Like we need to collaborate. That's what it is my opinion on the Ocean thing. Am I right, or do I have to understand anything?
No, you are right. That's what Ocean is doing also. Like you are one user, I am another user, and thousands of such users would be there, and then the data would be good quality, large in number to be acting as a training data for the research. But then whatever data they are getting, based on that data, they are going to reward you. So even though it is less, you are one person only, but think of many other people who are going to be part of Ocean. So that's how it will come together.
Okay, thank you. And one more doubt regarding the stable coin. When you spoke, you said some DAO, I don't remember the name. In order to handle the depreciation, they'll be uh, releasing more the coins, more coins in the market to avoid the thing getting deprecated. You said no. Can you kindly elaborate on it? I couldn't understand it better.
So stable coins promise you that the price of the coin, when converted to dollar, it will always be $1. Now the problem is with stable coins, the problem is the value of dollar also keeps going up and down, right? And there is a bear market and bull market. So the market also keeps going up and down. So in the last few years what we have seen is that the stable coins, they are not able to maintain the constant value of one stable coin is equal to $1 because of all these ups and downs and because of the depreciation of dollar in general. So the promise of stable coin is not true, which means that one stable coin is no more equal to $1 under extreme circumstances. And this is exactly the problem that Olympus DAO is trying to solve. Olympus DAO has introduced a coin called, basically it has introduced a token called Ohm token, which is going to act like a stable coin, and it is always going to have a constant value when converted to dollars. Where is its value coming from? Its value is coming from the large assets that are owned by the Olympus DAO team, and these assets are, it might be a real estate asset, or it might be some other kind of asset, but those assets are so huge that they have a lot of supply of the Ohm tokens, and whenever the value of Ohm goes up and down because of the availability of the token, let's say all of us purchase a lot of Ohm tokens, then the price of Ohm token is going to go higher and higher. Or let's say none of us purchases Ohm tokens, so the price of Ohm token might go lower and lower. So based on demand and supply and consumption, the price of any token can go up and down. But what Olympus DAO is saying is, even though the supply of Ohm token gets changed in market every time you purchase or you do not purchase Ohm token, we are going to ensure that the number of Ohm tokens in the market at any time will never decide the value of Ohm token when converted to dollar. It will always be 1 Ohm is equal to $1. That is the promise that they are fulfilling, and in order to do that, they are always going to keep supplying more and more Ohm tokens from their fund. I hope you could
Okay,
understand.
okay. Like I got a silly doubt here because what some of my teachers they said is if we increase the flow, like I'm talking about fiat currency, like if we are printing more like Indian rupee or something, its value gets lower. Like so, I thought so. Is it contradicting my thing that
No,
I got confused? Maybe I should read more about stable coins.
no. So what
Okay.
you are saying, that's exactly what I also explained, that because of the demand supply. See, when you're printing more money, you are increasing the supply. When you're increasing the supply of INR or dollar, the cryptocurrencies which are pegged, which are dependent on the dollar, they will also get affected in a way. And that is the exact reason Olympus DAO comes and says, why are we creating stable coins based on fiat currency? Let us create a stable coin or a token which is based on real assets other than fiat currency, such that we can control the supply and demand of the token, basically the availability of the token, and we can ensure that the value of the token is constant.
Okay, the harder form of currency like gold or something, because fiat currency is the softest form of thing. Yeah, now I get it better than the usual, like previous thing. Thank you so much. The Web3 things, like the jargons, which I learned from the TPG only. I attend these sessions regularly. Thank you so much. Thank
I'm
you.
happy I could be of help, and I'm happy that TPG is helping clarify the difficult terms. But yeah, do check out how Olympus DAO works and how the algorithm works. It's very interesting. With this, I would move on. Are there any more questions? Okay. I assume there are no more questions, so I'll continue with the DAO governance part. This is one of the trickiest part. If you own a DAO, if you created a DAO, you are responsible for ensuring that the DAO is working properly. The DAO is being governed in a way that everyone feels uh, justified, everyone feels safe, everyone feels engaged, everyone feels that they are belonging to the DAO, they are belonging to the community. So also the decisions that get taken, those decisions should not be biased by any kind of uh, uh, majority or powers, unless that is the default mode. So different kind of DAOs, they have different ways of governing the decisions that get taken, and the funds that they are pooling, how they are going to allocate the funds for different tasks. They take decisions using different means. So one by one I'll go through it. Usually what happens when a new DAO is coming up, earlier what used to happen, which has happened a lot, airdrop used to happen. In airdrop, what happens is the DAO freely distributes its token to certain members, and then to certain people, and by giving them the tokens, they become the member of the DAO by default. So if I hold the ocean token, I am the member of the ocean DAO. If I hold the FWB token, I am the member of the FWB DAO. Similarly, airdrops, what they do is, let's say I have 10,000 tokens of my DAO, and I say that only 10% of those tokens I'm going to give them for free, only to NFT creators. So what I'm saying is, the NFT creators whom I'm going to airdrop my tokens for free, they will be the first members of my DAO, and I'm inviting them without them expressing any interest, or I am just inviting them. So airdrops were the initial few offerings, or initial few invitations that certain people would get. And airdrops also used to happen using some conditions, like if someone is already holding a token of Git Coin, I'm going to give them my DAO's token. Or if someone is already holding the token for ocean and more than 500 ocean, then only I'm going to airdrop them my token. If they are holding anything less than that, I am not going to airdrop them anything. So airdrop used to be a means of inviting people into the DAO by readily giving them the token. So that was one. But the problem with airdrops is, we do not know whether the people were interested. We do not know how efficiently we engaged those members in the community. Did they stay? Did they contribute back? And the other thing is, with airdrops, we also don't know, with conditions like these, that anyone who holds X number of Y tokens is going to get the airdrop. So with these conditions, we do not know how effective our strategy is. So airdrops kind of were not the most optimal solution for inviting members in the DAO. So that's when other options were invented. One of them was NFT ownership. So a number of NFTs were launched for some of the DAOs, and anyone who purchased an NFT automatically became a member of the DAO. This was the case with Developer DAO. It's a very talented set of people, developers who have come together, developers, designers, and community managers. And initially they had 8,000 tokens, 8,000 NFTs only. So the first 8,000 developers plus designers and members who purchased the NFTs, they became the season 0 members of the Developer DAO by purchasing the NFT. So they had to pay a price, and then they became the part of the DAO. The last part is token purchase, which is where the token is there in the market. I can go and purchase the token, and the moment I purchase the token, I am member of the DAO. So this is the third mode. These were the different ways that people can become the member of any DAO. If you want to become the member of a DAO, you can purchase the token of that DAO. Or if the DAO is powered by NFT membership, you can purchase the NFT of that DAO, and then automatically it will give you the membership and the decision making power in accordance with the number of tokens or the number of NFTs that you are holding. So that's the number of tokens that you hold will give you the governance power as compared to anyone else. So the largest token holders are the most powerful people, because a lot of times what happens is if I have, let's say if I have 10 tokens, I can actually give one token to one proposal, the other token to other proposal. Just to vote yes for something, I can use one token. But if you have only one token, you cannot vote for 10 proposals. You can only vote for one of the proposal which you feel the most right, and the rest of the 9 proposals you don't have a say in it, because you don't hold enough tokens to be able to vote for him, whether you want to vote yes or no, right? So the number of tokens you hold decides your voting power, it decides the governance power that you have. Then there are
Kriti,
proposals.
before we proceed ahead, Divya has something to ask.
Yeah,
Can I
please
let her
tell
in?
me. Yeah.
Yeah, Divya, please go ahead.
Hi, Kriti, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You're not audible, Divya. Can you please
Yeah,
be
just a
near to your mic? Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a moment. I just wrote it actually. Just a second. Okay, so while pitching for grants or funding, like on Git Coin, etc., how do we make sure that our project idea is not stolen or imitated by someone else?
That's a very good question. And
Mm-hmm.
usually I have not seen it happening, but
Mm-hmm.
a good way of ensuring that no one steals it is
Mm-hmm.
by explaining it with the best data and in the best uh, detailed proposal that you can, because you are the person who knows most about your idea. And if you just have an idea in mind that I want to create a green energy project, that one line is not enough. But if you write a detailed proposal that I need $3,000 to be able to create a project like this is how it's going to work, these are the timelines that it will need, these are the assumptions that I'm making. So the more details that you provide with your project, the harder it is for someone else to steal your idea, because you are the person who has best described what you're going to do. And it is very well possible that anyone can come any day, propose something similar with minor modifications, and ask for money. In that case, what happens is the DAO takes the decision, both the similar ideas, which idea is going to execute better, which idea has thought everything in depth, including the assumptions, including the known issues, including the alternatives considered, etc. And then they are going to give the grant to the relevant person. So yeah, uh, I hope that answers your question. There's no solid way of short way of saying that it cannot be copied. But yeah, you can always increase your chances of not being copied.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
No, Kriti, if there is anything, I'll let you know.
Sure, Almaz. I'll continue then. Uh, Proposals and agreements. Usually, there are weekly or bi weekly meetings which are called town halls, or they could also be simple community calls where ideas are being discussed. Whenever an idea needs to be discussed in detail and it is complex enough to be understood by different people, it takes form of a proposal which is usually written, and the written proposal is presented somewhere on a website in the DAO, and then every member in the DAO is shared the proposal, and then once everyone has read it, agreements are floated where people can choose to agree or disagree, vote for the favor or against the proposal. And the challenging part for a community manager or for a DAO admin here is, if there are 40% of the people who are voting against the proposal and 60% are voting in favor of the proposal, you as an admin, you have to ensure that those 40% people who voted against the proposal, they know that the proposal is going through, this is going to happen. But even after that, how do you engage them? How do you bring them in? How do you ask them to contribute in the same manner as if their proposal was going through? right? So when decisions are taken by majority voting, this becomes a challenge. So community managers and admins have to take care of it. And when decisions are taken by minimum voting, which is like, for this proposal to pass, we need at least 20% votes. When something like this happens, it is a little more relaxed, but then uh, in this case also, the number of people that might choose to work on a proposal and contribute, that might also vary. So engagement is something that you as a DAO member, you are always tackling with. So yeah, that is something always challenging. But yeah, that's how DAOs work, like through agreements, through proposals. Everything is discussed, everything is in the open. But we have to keep updated on every email that comes and every message that comes. There is another way that you can choose to stay away from the updates. You can actually say that I'm choosing a delegate on my behalf. I may not be available all the time to take decisions, to read the proposals, and to vote. So I am appointing someone else. That someone else is my delegate, and that person is going to uh, contribute to the decision making of the DAO on my behalf because I trust their capabilities. So this is exactly what happens when the number of members in the DAO exceeds more than 200, 300. That's when delegates are appointed, and 5 or 6 people or more than that, they might choose a delegate, and they might say that this person is going to represent me in all the decision making. I trust their expertise. So very large DAOs, they have delegates. Very small DAOs, they don't need delegates. uh, On-chain voting using snapshot, I'm going to demonstrate you how it happens. So I can choose to say that I have one vote, but I'm going to use that vote to vote no for proposal number 2. Or let's say I have 2 votes, and I'm going to use 1.5 of my voting power to vote yes for proposal number 1, and zero point 0.5 of my voting power to vote no for proposal number 8. So snapshot is a decentralized voting tool that enables you to vote fractionally on multiple proposals. And I'm going to demonstrate how it usually happens in the next few slides. Then when DAOs get larger, let's say, so there's a number, I think 150 is the number. Usually DAO size should not exceed beyond 150 for optimal working. But if there are more than 150 members in a DAO, then DAOs can operate well if there are delegates appointed, and if people in the DAO are subdivided in the form of pods. Like there can be a engagement pod, there can be a creator pod, there can be a community pod, and then there can be a onboarding pod. So there can be different kinds of subgroups or pods within the DAO, and there can be one leader called the steward of that particular pod. The admins of the DAO, they are going to come back with what needs to happen in the next few months based on the decisions that were taken. The stewards will take the decision and they will work along with the pod to get the thing done. That's how, when more than 150 members in a DAO are there, this is how it happens. Next thing is, how is the money dispersed? So you have a DAO and you have raised funds or you have pooled funds, and you are collecting all those funds in a wallet which represents the DAO wallet. And usually this wallet is a super safe multi-signature wallet where the key members of the DAO, those members' signatures are needed. They need to approve the transaction before any money gets transacted from this DAO wallet to any other person's wallet. So there's a multi-signature wallet that gets that is used for storing the funds. So yeah, that is also a very crucial part. Then there are grants and bounties. So if a DAO wants to make their own website, they can either have their own members, which are developers and designers and community managers and more, to come together, develop the product and put it out there, or they can simply delegate it away to anyone in the world by posting bounties or grants. Bounties are specifically for money being paid after the work is done. Grants are for the money paid before the work is done. So grant is nothing but the fund given to someone on the promise that they are making, and bounty is the fund given to someone after the promise that they have fulfilled. So that is the major difference. Usually grants are allocated for onboarding projects, for any kind of leadership, any kind of educational purposes or marketing purposes. Bounties are usually, I have seen, they are for bugs, for content, for design, etc. So grants and bounties, this is one of the important things that I wanted to cover in the session today, because each of you can actually start working with different DAOs. Whatever your capabilities and skills are, based on that you can do work and get paid for it in terms of the token of the DAO, or in terms of the whatever currency they prefer. So you can earn for doing stuff. Mostly they fall into three categories. First one is the social media task, where you might be asked to manage a community, or you might be asked to popularize a particular content, or write simplify a difficult concept in the media, or attract more audiences, or make a meme of some kind to gain traction for a particular concept. Then if you're a developer, there can be technical tasks, like there can be a feature request, there can be a bug fix that might be needed, or there can be an optimization or some kind of analytics being incorporated, any kind of technical tasks. It could also be research related work. Last is content, which I've already explained. So these are the high level three kinds, but there can be more kinds. There can be ad hoc bounties and grants as well. So you will have to either go to each DAO's website, go to the section which mentions bounties and grants, or you can go to grant and bounty platforms like Layer 3. You can go to Questbook. Earlier I used to work at Questbook, and Questbook has recently launched a decentralized tool for posting grants and applying for grants. So you, as a developer, as a content writer, as a designer, you can apply for different grants on Questbook. The same thing happens on Git Coin also. You can go and post your project, and they can fund your project. But what you propose, it needs to be detailed, it needs to cover different aspects. So yeah, also I want to cover one thing.
Before proceeding ahead, Divya, I guess so Divya might have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead, Divya.
Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah, Divya, you can go ahead.
Yeah, just a moment.
Divya?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, just a moment. Wait a moment, please.
sure.
So, I would like to ask, like, in general, what is your suggestion? How to propose a new project idea to a DAO? And do we always need a MVP, minimum viable product, or a project proposal and team? And a team is enough?
Again, a good question. I was anyway going to cover this, so let me share my screen. This is the Ocean Protocol's website, where for round 13, we, the Phoenix Guild, our group, we had posted a proposal. We had a very detailed proposal in terms of what we are going to deliver as part of the grant. Very clearly, we had identified the timelines, etc. Then we had also identified what the future is going to look like if this goes successful, what is going to happen next, and how much funding we are requesting. Then Ocean had requested us for some of the details, like who are the team members, what do they do, etc. And then some more details around the project. So this grant, since it was for conducting sessions on training women to get into Web3, this here we did not have to show a POC or something. But if this was a developer grant where a feature was to be requested, Some DAOs might choose to ask you for a small POC. It is completely their choice. Most of the times I have not seen it, but yeah, a POC may or may not be required. It's completely up to the DAO, and it's up to you also. But yeah, there are timelines, like when you break down your milestones. 1 minute, I think I've broken down the milestones. Whenever you are proposing to get a grant or a bounty, you should always share what is the how the grant will be used, what percentage of money will go in what, and by what date you are going to deliver what. So this is our roadmap that we had proposed, that by 5th Feb we would have done this much, by 15th Feb we would have done this much. And the $3,000 that we were to use, how we were to use, we had also explained it in one of the paragraphs. And later we also talked about what happens in the future. Like if there's a second proposal that we come up with where we are asking for a 50,000 grants, 50,000 USD grant, so how will we be disbursing money? So usually these are the details. If it was a tech project, we might also had to create a small POC. That would have been, yeah, very well possible. Also, since I'm showing you this, I also want to tell you that usually the DAO will assign some of its members to evaluate the proposals. So there was a deadline, like the last date was, I think it was 20th January, and I think by 8th of February, the Ocean Protocol team members, they were to evaluate our proposals, and they would be commenting on our proposals. They would be asking for questions, then we would be answering them, and this question answer would go on for some number of days, and after that the decision gets taken during 2-3 days that they have chosen, and then we get to know whether we are getting the grant or not. So yeah, this is how usually it happens. And once the grant is allocated to you, you also need to follow up with updates, like did you actually keep your promises, what all have you, like what all sessions were you able to share. So we also have been doing that. We have been posting about all the sessions that we have been taking, and about all the women we have been onboarding. So the community that we have made, we talk about it in the Ocean community calls. So yeah, long answer to your question, but yeah, hope it clears. Before we move forward,
Krati,
yeah,
I guess so. Joanne also has a question.
yeah,
So
please go ahead.
I'll move her.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Krati. Thank you for your presentation. So you mentioned that there are 3 ways to gain entry into the DAO. What I want to know is, once one is inside the DAO, how does one then continue to accrue the tokens? Do you then have to purchase, or are there some incentives, for example, some behaviors, and then you would accrue more through those behaviors, or is it strictly you have to purchase, you have to spend money? Thank you.
Wonderful question. So once you are inside a DAO, there will be there will be tasks which will be shared in the Discord channel or in the Telegram group, and you can choose to volunteer for doing those tasks, and based on that your contribution will keep getting noted. And some of the DAOs that I was part of, for example Developer DAO, they even had this process where on certain dates they used to see how many people have contributed to the features that got built, and the people who reviewed the features, like let's say I was supervising 3 members of the DAO, I will give them a certain token, which is a second kind of token, which is purely for showing that they contributed to the DAO. And the more the number of tokens everyone holds, those tokens will be replaced by the real token. And again, these will be so basically, as you keep doing the work, you keep getting tokens, you keep getting internal appreciation in the form of second kind of tokens. And the more community calls you attend, you also get a proof of attendance token, and those proof of attendance tokens later can also be exchanged for the real token of the DAO. So just by contributing, by attending community calls, by making features, by taking care of basically your presence in the community is visible to everyone in the DAO, and based on that every DAO has different ways of rewarding the members. And most of the DAOs that I see, they actually give you a token every time you do something. Some DAOs may not give the token. Some of the DAOs you might have to purchase the token and then stake the token in one of the programs, and then the tokens will keep increasing. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you so
sure.
much. That answered my
Okay.
question. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, so just wanted to show you this tool called snapshot.org. Here you need to log in with your MetaMask wallet or any other wallet, and once you log in, what the tool does is, what is the DAO whose proposal is being proposed, and for this particular DAO there are these many proposals. Based on the number of tokens of the DAO that you hold, you can choose to click on different proposals, and once you click on those proposals, it's going to ask you to submit a yes or no, whether you want to vote in favor or in against of the proposal. That's how the voting happens, and then everything, like who all voted, everything is shown. So you keep getting the results. Like this particular project, Data Whale, it is getting yes votes 23.45%. Then this is getting yes votes 7.74%. There will be some proposals which will be getting no votes because people are against those proposals. So they might be getting no votes also. Let me see if there's one. Okay, just a minute. I'll just stop sharing my screen for a minute. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just connect my wallet, MetaMask. So now I'm connected on the snapshot with my wallet, and I can actually refresh this, and I can actually cast a vote here. Oh, somehow it's redirecting me to the project detail. Oh, because it's closed. Let me go to a proposal which is going on. Oh, most of the proposals. Okay, the rounds of funding are closed right now. There is no open round of funding. So that's why I'm not able to vote. But there is a proposal underscore yes and proposal underscore no. Both kind of votes are there, and people can choose to say yes or no. For example, Autobots. This project got 0.05 percentage of the total votes for no, for like against the project. So this way you can, as part of the DAO, you can choose to vote, but it will consume some tokens, and yeah, that's how the proposal will either get passed or it will be rejected. But yeah, coming back.
Yeah, Pratik, before we proceed ahead, Divya have a question.
Yeah.
Unmute her.
Yeah, please go ahead, Divya.
Divya, you there?
Yeah, just a moment.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, like, how do I be the part of a
Divya, your
DAO?
voice is not audible.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's free.
Yeah. So I want to ask, how do I be part of a DAO, and where can I search them?
You can actually. I'll. This is the next screen where I have shared this link. Explore DAOs on DAO House. So this is a website where you can explore different kinds of DAOs. You don't need to necessarily connect your wallet, but you can just come to the home page and it just tells you what different kinds of DAOs are available, and you can even add filters to know how many kinds of DAOs are there. And if there's a DAO which matches your purpose or you feel aligned with it, go ahead, join the Discord of the DAO. Usually there would be Discord links. So go ahead, join the Discord of the DAO and start contributing. Usually in Discord, let's see my Discord if it is logged in right now. Yeah, so usually you might have to join the Discord. Like, for example, this is the Discord for Blue 3 DAO that I'm part of, her DAO that I'm part of. Then there is developer DAO that I am part of. And once you join the Discord of a particular DAO, basically you create an account on Discord and then join the Discord of the DAO. How do you get the link of the Discord? Usually it will be in the either the Twitter profile of the DAO. See, this is the Discord link of developer DAO. So if I click on this, it will redirect me to the developer DAO Discord app, and I'll be able to access the different channels. So this is the developer DAO. This is a general channel, and then there will be some channels which will be specific to the Dow governance, some channels which are around jobs, around collaborations. Some will be developer specific channels, technical discussions. Some will be community specific channels. So yeah, what do you align with? Try to find that DAO and join the Discord of the DAO, and then follow these steps that I have listed here. I'll just go through the steps again. Number one, these are the steps in general that I follow. Number one, evaluate by joining the Discord or the Telegram or the Twitter of a particular DAO, and observe the posts and the threads and what is the philosophy of the DAO members. What do they talk about? What is their focus? How are they contributing? What is the speed at which they are taking the purpose of the DAO ahead? So evaluate that. If you like it, join the DAO by becoming a member. Now, to become a member, if it needs you to purchase a token, you will have to purchase a token. If it needs you to purchase an NFT, you might have to purchase the NFT. And a lot of DAOs, you don't need to purchase anything, you just join the Discord and you are part of the DAO and start interacting. So there are DAOs like that as well. So once you are on board, you start attending the community calls. Usually the calls will be posted in the announcements channel in form of a post. They will tell you about all the upcoming calls. There would be a calendar channel as well, usually, which tells you what all community calls and meetings are going to happen. So attend some of those meetings. See if you vibe with those meetings. Observe how the decisions are taken. Interact with the DAO members. Ask questions about the decision being taken. Introduce yourself as soon as you join. So yeah, that's how you onboard. Once you onboard, after that, start contributing. Look at the Bounties page. Look at the grants channel or Bounties page, or if there's bugs on GitHub or any other channel that they have specified. Go through it. See if you would like to contribute to something. If it needs you to make a team or apply individually. Both are completely fine, but this is how you start contributing to the DAO. It can be as simple as talking about the DAO and its purpose on Twitter, or maybe educating people on the DAO's purpose, and then getting more people, and then meeting together and doing the development or the whatever proposal that needs your help. Go ahead and do that. Once you have done that, once your proposal is accepted, you are given the grant or you're given the fund. Follow up, share regular updates in whichever channel is the popular channel. If it is Discord, keep posting here in Discord. If it is Telegram, keep posting in the Telegram. If it is a different website, keep posting and regularly updating there. So that's how people will get to know you. That's how they will remember that, okay, this person is contributing. So the next time uh, we are distributing tokens, we are going to distribute larger chunk of tokens to this person. So different DAOs have different ways of rewarding their members for the efforts that they are putting in. So go ahead and start contributing to a DAO. And if you do not vibe with the DAO, if your principles and values are different than the principles and values of the DAO, you can always gracefully exit from the DAO by leaving the Discord or by leaving the Telegram channel and start exploring other DAOs. So in this PPT, I have also shared some of the links. The first link takes you to the official page of Ethereum, which talks about DAOs. It tells you about what DAOs are, how DAOs are created, why do we need DAOs, how do they work, and how can you start your own DAO, and many more links are there. So this is the official page of Ethereum. Next, I have shared about DAO Horse. Here you can keep exploring different kinds of DAOs. So when you click on a DAO, it's going to tell you who all are the members, then what are the active proposals, etc. It takes some time because it is on chain, so it's going to be a little slow. Then this is the third link that I have shared. It's a podcast by Chase Chapman. She has created some, I think, 8 episodes on the working of a DAO. It's a mini series by Chase Chapman where she talks about different aspects of leadership in a DAO or showmanship. How can you show your work? How can you build rapport with other people? Then how do you handle the marketplaces in a DAO? So for example, if you have created a DAO for a DeFi protocol, basically a decentralized exchange, you have to also onboard the buyers, the sellers, and the liquidity providers. So how do you handle those marketplaces, and how do you compensate someone? So you created a DAO, but then now you need to pay people. You need to pay developers and designers, content creators. How do you pay them? Who are you going to pay more? Who are you going to pay less? How should it be? So those principles, those techniques, those options, she discusses it very detailed, in a not very detailed, but in a very beautiful manner. So these are the, like, if you're thinking of creating your own DAO, or if you are a community manager and you want to be a key contributor to these DAOs in these key positions, these are some things that you should definitely hear about. So this podcast is really amazing. So do check it out, and do stay in touch with me. Share and follow about the Phoenix Guild HQ. We keep organizing different events, and next few events are going to be more and more technical. Some of them are also going to be non-technical. So yeah, do check out the future events. Follow me on Twitter. I keep sharing useful stuff about blockchain, programming, events, jobs, mobile development, in general, software engineering tips as well. So yeah, that was all about it. I'm open to take more questions.
Kriti, Noe had a question on the chat. She is referring to some snapshot from Ethereum, and she is also asking, is that for proposals on layer 1 only or layer 2 as well?
So basically, snapshot, at the moment, I think snapshot is only for Ethereum. I am not aware if it is supporting other blockchains like Solana, etc. Is that for proposals on layer 1 only or layer 2? Snapshot is independent of different kinds of layers. Snapshot is just a voting tool. Any DAO, any company can come and organize a voting on Snapshot, but it'll happen on Ethereum itself, from what I'm aware of. Hope that answers your question.
Divya has requested to us, so let me just unmute her.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, Divya.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah, just a moment.
your voice is low.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
See, I am a non-technical person actually.
Okay.
So I wanted to know that what can be my contribution being a non-technical person in
Sure.
doing things.
Sure. I
Yeah.
think I can show
And one
you.
more thing,
Yeah.
sorry for the interruption.
Sure.
Could you please share the PPT as well, which you were explaining? Where
Yeah.
can I find it if you have shared it already?
I will share the PPT on my Twitter as well as in the Phoenix Guild group. We have a
Okay.
group here if you have not already joined. This is the Phoenix Guild group. I'll just share it right away.
Okay.
Okay, 1 minute. Oh, the link was copied. Okay, my bad. So you can join this group. Number one, you can join this group. It's on Telegram. Number two, in as a non-technical person, there are still a lot of things that there are still a lot of roles that we need from time to time. If you are into marketing, if you are into sales, if you are into advertising, these are great roles for community management. We have a number of people who are part of the DAO, and all these people, they need to be engaged, they need to be onboarded, and they also need to be uh, like from time to time there are communications which are going out, and some of the communities we need people to come together. So often the community activities are organized by some of the community managers, and these community managers are also responsible for popularizing and educating about the community to the outside world. So if you talk about the Phoenix Guild group, recently Almas, who's here in the call today, she is helping us with the community management. So she's taking care of onboarding and educating about the Phoenix Guild and introducing us to different social media platform channels, etc. And often, usually community managers in their profile, here it would say community at a particular DAO, and then they will keep talking about that particular DAO. So I don't know if I know a community manager. Mm, let's see. Yeah, so this guy, he is a community manager at, I think he's a community manager at Evergrow. So he would be talking about Evergrow, and he would be posting about the upcoming events. He would be generating the engagement. He would be getting more people to join Evergrow. So these are all the things that he might be doing, and many more things. Like sometimes even raising funds, you might have to talk to different kinds of investors. So as a person who is good with sales or marketing or advertising, or if you have creative pursuits, you are good at story writing or uh, um, counseling, or there are a number of soft skills that are also needed in community. So usually that kind of DAOs that you are going to join, each DAO is going to have some or the other channel. You'll have to go through the channels, and then you'll have to see how you can contribute. Another thing is, usually when you join a DAO, there's a role assignment that happens. Let's see if there's a role assignment here. Okay, so usually what happens is when you join a DAO, a bot will pop up and it will ask you what are your capabilities and special powers that we can uh, make you contribute in this DAO. So go through that particular bot, and then you'll get a role assigned. I'm not able to show you a demonstration here.
Yeah, mostly it will ask you at the time of verification, the verify, or like the first step itself when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are entering any Discord server.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
See, verify
demonstrate here.
you.
Yeah, I think this is a great example that I wanted to
Yeah.
show. So firstly, there would be a start here kind of channel collection. So you'll first verify yourself by answering some, either by clicking some emoji or by answering the puzzle that they ask you. Here they are not asking a puzzle. But then second thing, they will introduce you what the community is about, what is this DAO doing. Then they will introduce you to some of the people, and then there would be a channel for giving roles. So since I'm a developer, I have chosen this emoji. If I was uh, if I was a designer, I would have chosen this emoji. And in my profile, it will show these tags: developer, designer, meme lord, which is this one. So this way you can see where you are fitting in. Are you a writer? Are you a video editing person, or a translator, or a meme lord? Meme lord is basically community again. You keep creating memes and you engage the community, you attract more community. Then analytics, business development, development, basically technical development, designing, illustrating, etc. So yeah, this is how the roles will be assigned to you. And next time when something needs to be done, people people will find you because you have that role assigned to you, and they will give you tasks, or you can volunteer the tasks from the available list of tasks. Hope that answers the question.
Just Divya, you there?
Any other questions in the chat? I don't see.
No, the last ones have already covered up or taken up.
Yeah. Cool. If there are no more questions, thanks so much for your time. Let's meet again for next few sessions.
Yeah.
Interesting sessions coming up. I'll stop sharing the screen. Thanks, Almas.
Yeah, ladies. Yeah, thanks a lot for joining in this